Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of Let's Talk Airguns. Yes, in the background we do have the song Fire in Line by Angie and myself. We're going to hopefully have a great show tonight and do a part two, or actually take two, to recover from the mistakes of last week. Well, loss of power and all kinds of fun stuff going on. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready for a good show, and we've got some topics. We are going to continue where we left off, and we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for coming up, and I'm excited to see what this show brings us. So let me see if I can get Angie up here and going. All right, just a second here, Angie. Go ahead, Angie. How are things going?
Hey, guys. Pretty good. Pretty good. Had a good day today. How about you, Rick?
Been doing pretty good. It's been a, we'll say, I would say it's been a busy couple days, but frankly, I've been busy for the last year.
As far as you can remember?
Yeah, no, there's just been a good bit of stuff going on in my existence that has kept me just pedal to the metal. So, but yeah, no, busy. Last week we had, right at the end, right as we were starting to get into some cool topics, we lost power. Actually, what happened is the generator didn't switch back to the utility pole automatically like it's supposed to, so I wasn't sure what was going on. So just thought it was safer to end things than to try and keep pushing and then lose the, have my UPS go out and computer shut down, all that kind of fun stuff. But in any case, we are here tonight, and first of all, we want to say thank you to the sponsors that help us come up here and do this. It's not like we have somebody giving us a bunch of cash to do this show. Angie's here as a volunteer, and I'm here as a volunteer. In fact, I just do this because I like doing it, and I like thanking the people that help us just in general, and that would be like Airgun Pro Shop and our other sponsors. Airgun Pro Shop has been a big help to us. It was a business that I owned. I sold it to some folks that are really enjoying. I hope Tyler and Heidi are enjoying having their own business and seeing what that's like. It's a lot of work, as I warned them up front, but it is very rewarding as well. So I hope that they're doing well with it. And you guys going to their website, which is www.airgunproshop.com, can certainly help them in their endeavors to continue to bring some pretty cool airgun stuff to the market. I know that they've got the new Evan-X Viper coming in, which is a pretty cool airgun. There's a lot of people certainly interested in that gun, because I know they've gotten a lot of emails about it. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing. It looks like we... Angie? Yep, we just froze. And it was my Mevo this time. Let's see what's going on with that.
Yeah, Rick completely disappeared.
Yeah. Well, if it's just the Mevo camera, then we can deal with that. It's like acting funny. If that doesn't work, I have another camera where we won't be. Oh, we got stuff happening. We'll see if we come back.
You can be just a voice.
Yeah, I don't know how this is all going to work. Let me see here. Let's go to camera, and we're going to go back to the Mevo. There we go.
Hey.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Welcome back.
I love and hate these doggone Mevo cameras. They're like supposedly awesome, and when they work, they're pretty cool because I get to control things in my phone, and that's kind of cool. But when they fail, they fail. It's absolutely no fun. Anyway, back to Airgun Pro Shop. You guys check them out. It's airgunproshop.com. They got a bunch of stuff coming in from Evan-X, including the Evan-X Viper. So definitely go check out their website. All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some upcoming videos, Angie. What do you have? Well, I know you've got one coming out tomorrow, right? So tell us a little bit about that product. And I've already seen the video, but tell me a little bit about your experience kind of figuring out how you were even going to do that video, because it was like a curveball. I know I just threw that one at you. So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's not coming out till Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. That's right.
Yeah, it's Saturday. So.
There you go. No problem. So they have to wait till Saturday to learn about this cool new thing that you were playing with. So tell them, and then we'll circle back around.
It's the Diana Storm Rider, and she's wearing a whole new outfit. She's got stuff from Buck Rail, and it's pretty cool. I think you guys will get a kick out of the video. At least I hope you will, because it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give too much away. You guys have to
Okay.
watch it. Then it won't be as funny if I give it away.
Yeah. So if you guys want to keep up with all of the videos that Angie's putting out, please be sure to join the Gateway to Airgun YouTube page. I'll throw the link in here. All of the grip reviews and other videos that we're doing for Gateway to Airguns will be on this page. Some of the stuff will cross-publish on AirgunWeb as well. But if you guys want to make sure that you're keeping up with everything that Angie's doing specifically, make sure you subscribe to the Gateway to Airguns page. And a lot of the stuff there won't be published anywhere else, so it is unique content, most of it. So definitely get part of that. And you just finished the Daystate Huntsman Revere Part 2. What did you think of that gun?
Oh, super, super sweet. I mean, just all around a great gun. Accurate. And mine wasn't regulated, but I couldn't tell. I absolutely could not tell. From first shot to last, it was pretty consistent with accuracy and velocity. It was just a really sweet gun all around.
Yeah, so this is the video, guys. Please go check it out. Airguns of Arizona are a sponsor of Gateway to Airguns. You guys will see their banners. They also help support AirgunWeb. So they sent this out. It's a really very nice airgun. In fact, I'm going to request that instead of it going directly back to them, it stops here first. I get to take a look at it too. I actually had the old Daystate, and it was just such a great gun. Let me go back to the channel. And I had the unregulated version as well. I actually set up a regulated version for somebody, and I thought my unregulated version shot better than the regulated one. I didn't tell the customer that just because he really wanted the regulated one. But okay, yeah, I just really enjoyed the. It was a great gun. I had the one that had the rear bolt though. I didn't have the new Revere, so hopefully I'll get a chance to play with that. I really haven't shot that gun, so. It's very nice.
Oh, you need to then.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I know that. Okay, anything else? I know you had more stuff from Buck Rail. We'll keep that under wraps. So you've got the Diana Storm Rider, and essentially, guys, I'm going to spoil just a teeny little, but not too much. Okay, imagine a micro Benjamin Armada. Isn't that about what it is?
Yep, perfect.
I mean,
yep,
it's like a mini Benjamin Armada for a lot less money. For a whole lot less money.
And I don't want to send that back. I'm so having so much fun with that.
And I don't know that you're going to have to. So we'll talk about that later. Because when I went to Buck Rail, I actually got to go visit with him. And it seems like some of the stuff I'm doing with Civil Air Patrol is going to be out of the Houston area. So when I go to Houston, he's an hour from Houston.
Oh, nice. So
it's easy just to drive down to Galveston and say, hey, Terry, what's going on? What you got new? Can you fill me up with some cool stuff? And I'll take it back, play with it. But there's another very popular gun, inexpensive, that you have that is going to be similarly outfitted that I think people are really going to enjoy. And the beautiful thing about his stuff is it's unbelievably affordable. I mean, really affordable, which is awesome. I love that aspect. And he's not the only one doing that. We have other sponsors on GTA, advertisers on GTA. Airgun Capital is another one that does 3D printed parts. They're actually moving into a segment of the market, which I'm getting some samples from them. When I do, we'll do a reveal of that. We'll talk a little bit about what they're doing, because they're still doing some 3D printed parts, but they're actually kind of doing something on another direction. It looks like my camera might have died again. If this thing's going to keep... Yep. It's the wonderful Mevo. What I'm going to do is I am just going to remove my camera here. I'm going to delete this layer, and I'm going to let you talk a little bit, Angie, about Squirrel Master. Because you're still there. You're there, and I can get this other camera set up and just deal with this little... You go ahead and talk and tell people about Squirrel Master. And yeah, we go from there. Okay.
Okay. So Squirrel Master, it's really awesome. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's like Gamo Squirrel Master Classic. A bunch of people get together, like the hunting celebrities, Bone Collector, Buckmaster, Buck Commanders. A bunch of people get together and they have this squirrel hunting competition, see which team can get the most squirrels. And they had a new gun this year, the Gamo Swarm Viper 10X Gen 3i. That's a mouthful, I
You
know.
got it. Excellent.
What was that, Rick?
No, I said you got it right. That was excellent.
Yeah, I've been working on. I actually was shooting that same gun, doing a grip review on that one yesterday and today. So I've had a little more experience with it. We got there to Alabama, had a little while to sight our guns in and everything, but I was impressed. I won't say I like it more than the Bone Collector. Bone Collector is still my absolute favorite, but it was a lot of fun. I think we wound up coming in like second to last, which is the same as last year. So, and one really awesome thing was I was hoping to get a fox squirrel, and I did. I got a red fox squirrel, so got to bring it home, and it's in the freezer waiting to go get stuffed.
That's cool.
But Rick, I'm
Yes.
running out of things to say, so you need to come
Well,
on.
why don't you talk a little bit about the youth hunting, and that's they bring all these celebrities in, which is cool, and these young shooters that they see these guys on TV, right? So they kind of get to meet in some regards. They kind of get to hang out and go hunting with their heroes in a sense, that's a big deal. I mean, if I was a kid, and gosh, I guess I'm going to give away just a little bit of my complete and total nerdiness here, if that's all right. But if it was me as a kid and I could have gone to space camp with Buck Rogers or something, I would have been like, oh, I wouldn't have been the hunting thing, but I would have been, on it for the whole space camp Buck Rogers kind of a deal. Was that just like, did I share too much on that one, Angie? Was that a little bit?
Yep, I'll never look at you the same.
Yeah. Anyway, so these kids, they get to go, and it's a pretty big deal, right? To be able to go and do that. And so I think that's pretty awesome. The fact that Gamo gets all this going for them and they can be part of it.
Which is really
cool.
like what it's supposed to be about, but evidently I'm just all about killing squirrels. The 4-H kids, getting them out there and getting the next generation started in hunting and shooting air rifles. That's really what it's all about. I did a poor depiction of that, but
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. All right, I think let's see what's going to happen here. I'm going to drop myself back into the picture, so to speak. So you guys watched me manipulate the wonderfulness that is Minicam. And we're going to go here. And hey, I'm back.
hey,
Yay!
you're back.
Yeah. And the Mevo camera, I think, is going to be officially retired at this point because I hate this thing just leaving me in the lurch. It works and then doesn't. And yeah, anyway, so much for that. We're done with the Mevo stuff. What a bummer. Anyway. All right. So go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you have to say about the Squirrel Master Classic?
Okay. So for me, Squirrel Master is I get to go hang out with folks that I don't get to see very often, mostly the writers. And I don't really watch TV. So the hunting shows, Bone Collectors, Buckmasters, all of these guys, I know they have a place in the industry, but I just don't know them. So I don't follow them. So, but I get to see guys like my buddy Larry Case, who's a writer. We like to have fun, and Frank, who's another writer, and his wife. I like hanging out with those guys. I like seeing my friends from Gamo, the people that put the show on, the folks from Media Direct, the guys at the Sportsman's Lodge, hanging out with Jim and Dave, and they do such a great job. So for me, it's that. And then I think next year, if I'm healthy enough, and I hope to be at that point, I do want to go back out and hunt because I do enjoy that. I did enjoy that when I got to go do it. But I was a little scared this time to go running around in the woods after last time. So I thought, we'll give it a pause, and next year hopefully I'll be able to go. I thought it would be funny to do a whole series on sort of like Rick's training regimen for Squirrel Master, you know, dun 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 dun, you know, that'd be. I don't have any stairs to run up and down like Rocky, but there's a mountain out or a hill out here. We could do that. And, maybe
Yeah, I
that
think
would
you
be
can
kind of
better
funny.
prep for it there than I can here. We're flat. We're flat landed, and Alabama is not.
Not where you were. Depends on which
No.
property you've got. I've hunted where it was like, and I've hunted where it was nice and flat. So, yeah, it depends which you get for the draw.
I think the dogs were laughing at us. They'd tree a squirrel at the bottom of the hill, and then the next one is at the top, and then the next one was at the bottom. So we were like up and down, and the dogs are just like, y'all are so funny.
It was a whole conspiracy, I'm sure.
And
all
I
right.
forgot to put the buddy sling on my gun, so I was carrying it. My biceps by the end of the 2 days, I was like, oh, I should have used the buddy sling.
Nah, you just need to do that more often. That'll help you with your freehold shooting that you do.
I work out, Rick. I work out. I really do.
I gotta stop right there. I was put that one on a tee. I'm gonna let it go. I work out. All right, we're just gonna move on. So back to the previous topic on upcoming videos. We normally have a video that release on Monday. We didn't do it Monday because I'm dealing with YouTube, and we talked about this a couple weeks back about the difference between a YouTube channel that is designed to support vendors, specifically gun, airgun, and airgun accessory vendors. There's no way for them to advertise other than a channel supporting them. So, you know, that's what AirgunWeb has done, but then we get hurt or penalized by YouTube for doing so. So it's a catch-22. If we want to grow the channel, we need to do fully compliant stuff. But if we do fully compliant stuff, we can't get paid by vendors. As I said, it's a catch-22. So what we're doing is some of the companies that are just manufacturers, we're actually doing their videos in a 100% compliant way. Unfortunately, every time I go to submit a video and I say this is compliant, YouTube says rejected, and then I have to go manually ask them to please review this, and we know it's good, please review this, and then they come back and say, oh, we're sorry, yes, it is acceptable. Well, that can take hours or days, and the video that was supposed to go out yesterday was the one that took days, so we didn't find out it was fully approved till this morning. So it'll be out tomorrow, and it's going to be a video on the Air Arms S510. It is the stealth carbine 177, and I don't know, Angie, you're just now you've shot some nice air guns, like when you came out to visit, or I've brought stuff there, but you've shot a lot of the entry-level stuff, mostly, correct?
Right.
But as you're starting to shoot the stuff that's more expensive, there's a difference, right? I mean, there's a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Big difference.
There's a difference in the cocking force, the way the gun feels, the way it handles. Now, accuracy, like on paper, if I took an Avenger at 50 yards and I took, I don't know, an Air Arms at 50 yards, and I looked at the target, and I let's say I did 3 targets of each, shuffled them up, handed them to you, I don't know that you could be able to tell me which target came from what gun.
Right.
I
can
mean,
believe
really,
that, definitely.
I mean, because on
Yep.
paper, the performance, what you get for on paper or accuracy, it's very close. I mean, it's so similar, right? So the entry-level guns are definitely perform well, but they're not built as well. They just aren't. The materials are not as good. The build quality is not as good. The longevity, well, we'll have to see how that works out. Some are good, some aren't. There's a difference. And so when you're shooting something that's nicer, it's just nicer to shoot, right? I mean,
Yeah.
would you say it's just true? So Air Arms for me was my first high-end air gun, and I got it some 8-9 years ago, something like that. I got it, and my wife actually, it's one of the few air guns she really enjoys shooting, so I actually bought it so that she would have something to shoot. She really liked it. She didn't like, if it's really hard to cock, or it has any kick, or it's loud at all, she doesn't want to shoot it. So the little 177 I got, it was perfect. It's super buttery smooth. It's boringly accurate. It's super quiet, and there's no recoil at all. So it's the perfect gun for her. So that gun I've had for a long time. when they came out with the regulated, and then they came out with the stealth carbine model, it was that 177 super really nice gun, but with the moderator, so it's even quieter, and now it's regulated. So it's funny, on the video you just hear it say 1053, 1053, 1053. It's like, it was like stuck on like one, but that's what a regulator's supposed to do. It's pretty cool. But that's just a fun video we did shooting steel targets at the range, because that gun's just, if you want a really nice backyard plinker, like setting up steel targets and just having fun, it doesn't have to shoot far. But I shot at 50 yards. It did really well at 50 yards too, and that's a 177. That's just a sweet, sweet air gun. So that video will come out tomorrow, guys, so be sure to catch that. It'll be on my channel. The other thing we have, I've got some photos. You ready to see some cool stuff?
Yeah.
Ready? Okay, let's see.
Let's see it, Rick.
Okay, you guys have been asking me to show you, to do some reviews on AEA air guns. Guess what? We finally have some coming in, and not only will I be able to get some, but we're going to work to make sure Angie gets some as well. This is, I think, this is the Element Max, I believe this one is. We got it in a couple days ago. This is provided by Airgun Tactical, so that's a new company out of Texas. When we post the video, we'll be sure to have all the information. This is a vendor, a good example of a vendor who needs a way to get people to come into his website to see what he has to sell. Well, we're going to help him do that. We'll take the hit on the YouTube side so that we can help vendors get out there. We're pleased to do it. But this gentleman, he carries not only the AEA guns, but other things as well. This is a 50 cal monster, and that tiny little gun, that carbine, and it's not very big. I think the barrel is, I want to say it's like 20 inches. I don't know, it might 24. I don't know. I have to look. It's on the side of the box. But they have one longer model, which I think if we could get you like a 45, that's the longer version, Angie, I think that would be like awesome for hunting in South Carolina, because it's still very, very compact. It's not moderated, although it is threaded. It has the big thread, so if you happen to be one of those folks that have a Donnie FL, one of the big ones, what are they, the Emperor, were the big ones? If you have one with the big threads, it would screw onto one of these. I happen to know that for just sure. Anyway, it is just a really neat air gun. As far as power output, that little guy was doing 550 foot-pounds with the 420 grain. Yeah, the 420 grain Hunter Supply slug. So when you're looking at this, I know you shot the Hammer carbine. Nice gun.
Yep.
Cool. I'm looking forward to getting one myself. This is a tactical version of that. Now, this isn't regulated. It's just all power. Like the first, I shot a couple shots over, and there was like a 30 foot per second spread between the two shots. But you're going to get two shots out of this over 500, and I don't know what it'll do beyond that because I didn't really shoot much other than that yet. But foldable stock, AR adjustable stock. It's lightweight, 4,500 PSI fill. What's
the recoil like?
You know you're shooting something. I like that personally. I get a kick out of that. I enjoy that. It's got a little bit of thump to it. Makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it's 20 inch. Thanks, Bob. What shocked me though, and this is what I cannot wait to actually do the video on this. If things work out this week, I plan to video this week, have the video next week, just so you guys know. The trigger is exceptional. Now, that's not something you normally hear about a big bore gun. They're sort of like, the trigger's okay, right. or yeah, it works. But it's got a hammer, so it's like a single action revolver. When you pull the hammer back, the trigger's on like a super light pull. That's what this has. It actually surprised me. I did not expect it to have a trigger that nice, but I am like super stoked to play with this gun, like super stoked. So that'll be coming out.
You're not even really a trigger snob.
No, but I no. Well, let me say this: I like a nice trigger, but I'm not going to throw a gun away if it doesn't have a really nice trigger. I'm not a person by the name of Travis Whitney that is a little bit of a trigger snob. Hi, Trav. Yeah, Travis, if it has a kick, it's loud and has a hard trigger. He's like, I'm done. I remember when we got him to shoot the Gamo Swarm. The Gamo Swarm Magnum. It like rattled his dentures. I don't think he has dentures, but it rattled his. He's like, "That's it. I'm done. You can have it." I thought that was funny. Picking on poor Trav. He's not even here to defend himself, which is just the way I like it.
Poor fella.
Yeah, poor guy. Asking if can it do 100 yards. I didn't put a scope on it, and I was hitting relatively where I was aiming at 100 yards. Obviously, we'll have to scope it, and I'll probably shoot steel out there. And if it's, if it shoots kill zone at 100 yards, I'm going to call that a win, right? That's what I'll call that a win. Is it a
Hurry
bench
up,
rest?
Rick.
I know, right? I do wish it had a bottom rail so that I could put a bipod on it, but that may be like a really nice offhand gun for somebody who I know loves to shoot offhand. So, yeah, Bob's talking. He got to shoot it, and the trigger it was nice, man. It was really nice. Yeah. So I'm hoping to, with the agreement I have with Airgun Tactical, we're going to be working through several AEA guns. We're going to be doing a video a month at a minimum, hopefully with a different model as we go through the year. So it may be like 2 months and then a new model, and 2 months a new model. So we're going to be doing a bunch of videos. I'm super excited about this. But that's not the only thing we got going on. What's my next picture I got here? Oh, yeah, it's just going back to the Squirrel Master. This is just one of the photos we had from the folks. Come on back. There it is. This is just half of the crowd that was there. And they, you see the film crews and everybody having a good time. Let's see the next photo I got here. Okay, this is one I know so many people have been saying, Rick, when are you going to do this? And I did it. And the video is going to be edited here coming up shortly. This is the Crossman Magfire. Okay, next picture. Next picture. Yeah. So the reason I did this gun, and I have the Hatsan Speedfire in the queue, I talk a lot about the Gamo Swarm, and I say it's the best multi-shot brake barrel on the market. Angie, you've shot maybe one or two other ones, I'm guessing. I know you shot the Magfire, and we're not thrilled with it. I mean, just full stop.
No.
And I'll tell you that, I'll let you guys watch the video. I have a scar from it. We'll just put it that way. Not just emotionally scarred. I'm sorry, a physical scar.
I was going to say we have something in common, but
yeah.
I was talking emotionally.
Yeah, no. This is a physical scarring that happened during shooting. Anyway, it's interesting. I wanted to sort of put my money where my mouth is and test other multi-shot brake barrel guns to see, is Gamo really the best in my opinion, or are there others that we need to be taking a look at? I tell you, Gamo has nothing to worry about with the Crossman at all. Now, I am going to try some different pellets. I tried the Crossman Premiers, which I don't know if you guys have Crossman Premiers handy or you shoot them, but the tins that I've been getting are so bad that the head sizing would actually just fall through the mag. They just wouldn't even hold in the mag because the sizing was so bad. So I couldn't even, I had a big target and I couldn't, I just had to couldn't even shoot them. At 15 yards, I couldn't keep them, they wouldn't stay on the paper. And that is just atrocious. I did switch to another pellet, got better results. I'll let you guys see it, but I am going to try some other pellets to see how they do. I am curious to see if I can get anything to shoot reasonably well out of it. I'll be pleased. It had some good points. There were some pros and cons, but I'm going to save that for the video. So that'll be coming out in the next couple weeks. So you guys, hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And then I'm going to do the Hatsan Speedfire immediately following. So, I mean, those are the ones that I have right now. I know Umrex has the new Emerge that I haven't really put my hands on. I had a pre-production sample that wasn't quite ready for prime time, so I'm curious to see how that's going to play out when I finally get one. So we'll see.
There's also the Synergist. That's the right name, right? Synergist? from
Yep.
Emirates.
Yep.
That's a multi-shot brake barrel.
It's actually not a brake barrel; it's an underlever. But yes, it's a
Oh,
multi-shot.
yeah.
Same with Hatsan had their Proxima. I think that was a variation of their Dominator. I do. The other thing I want to talk about is Modern Airgunner. Now I know you've already got videos in the queue for that, right?
Yes,
Angie?
sir.
And you're just waiting for me to get you the copy that we're going to boilerplate for when we post stuff, right?
Yeah, it sounded like our conversation before. We're
Yes.
always waiting for
Waiting for
someone
some.
to
Yeah, that would be me on this one. I shot a Modern Airgunner video on the Evan-X Viper. This is a multi-shot PCP semi-automatic 22 caliber. I think that's a sick looking pistol. The more I look at it and the more I shoot it, the more I'm like, okay, I think I'm having to say I like this. I
Yeah,
really kind
I
of
think
like it.
you're not the only one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people. And I know Mr. Lee's going to be getting you one, so you're not going to be Viperless at some point.
Nice.
There's lots of Vipers now. But Gamo had a Viper shotgun. Now they got the Viper rifle. Who else has a Viper? Anyway, there's lots of Vipers. But this is the Viper pistol from Evan-X. And I'm very curious to see what the full production model is going to be like. But on this video, I think I got DB, Crony, accuracy on paper, and we shot some steel. So it should be a fairly well-rounded video there for Modern Airgunner. So you guys, if you haven't subscribed to that channel, please do, because that's the only place, this content, that's the only place it's going to be shown. So please go take a look if you haven't joined up.
And it's just for fun. It's just a whole bunch of fun videos.
Yeah, G-Man's saying, Rick, I hope you used the same pellets across the magfire you used in the Gamo swarm rifles. I didn't. I tried to use Crossman pellets. I used Gamo pellets for Gamo. I tried to use Crossman pellets for Crossman. That didn't work, so I transitioned over to H&N. Or H&N or JSB? I don't remember at this point. My sister's doing the editing, so when she's done, I'll be refreshed. I did a bunch of videos that day. The Viper is made by Evan-X Sunny, if that's who you're asking about. But yeah, this is, I think, I'm excited. I know when you were here, Angie, you shot it. We had a little burping issue, and it kind of fouled a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was caused by pellets being too light. Talking to Mr. Lee, if you don't run the heavier 18-1s or maybe a little heavier, it will tend to do that for whatever reason. And I'm betting that there's not enough back pressure to reset the sear, because you got to have enough air. If all the air goes out, and there's not enough back pressure to blow that hammer back to lock, then it's possible that the lighter pellets will cause it to misfire. So I think that was the case. I also lubed the crap out of it because we're dusty and hot and dry out here. So between running better pellets and lubing the gun, I think it sorted it out. But I used it. I shot a lot, and it was perfect. So yeah, I think it's a great gun. If you like, I would imagine if you like pistol training and you want to shoot not BBs, right?
Yeah.
You want to shoot not BBs, and you want to have a nice trigger. The trigger pull on this was less than a pound.
Sweet. Yep, that's my kind of trigger.
It was 14 and some change, maybe 15 ounces. It was really nice. So nice trigger, semi-automatic, good power. It was like 13 foot-pounds or so, almost 14. So yeah, very, very cool product. I think they've got some new additions based on some of the testing that folks have done. So the next one may have some features that I think people are really going to want, but I don't want to say it in case they don't do it. So that's that. The last, I think that was it for me, actually. I've got more coming up on, I've got to go shoot videos this week, a lot of them. The weather's got to hold out, hopefully. But I've got the, back on the FX 35 cal, back on the FX 22, the Wildcat, back on the Western Airguns Rattler that I have, the 30 cal. So I've got a bunch of stuff stacked up, and I'm super excited about it. And then I'll do some more work for Modern Airgunner too, because I found I really enjoyed doing those videos. I did another one, but then there was a screw up with the target cam and I had to trash it, so I get to go redo it. Don't you love it when that happens, Angie?
No, not at all.
I don't either. It means we got to go back to work again. All right. Let's see if we have any questions. I didn't know if there was any questions here. Why don't more manufacturers make 35 cal? My state is beyond restricted on what to hunt with 22. There's a lot of people that are making 30 cal air guns. What type of air guns are you referring to? So, Umrex makes an affordable 30 cal. Evanex makes a 30 cal. Air Force makes a 30 cal. I don't think Crosman makes a 30, but they make a 35. Heck, Hotsun makes a 30 cal brake barrel. Let's see, other 30 cals. There's a bunch of them out there. FX, obviously. Daystate makes a 30 cal. Any other 30 cal makers that you know of? Angie, that's a bunch of them.
I actually was not paying attention. I'm reading the chat.
Okay. There's a bunch of 30 cal people out there. So I'm curious as to what kind of 30 cal are you referring to? If you're talking about a super affordable PCP 30, yeah, I mean, I think the most affordable and really excellent gun. In fact, I just put a scope on it because I want to do some more work with probably on Modern Airgunner with the Gauntlet 2 30 cal, which is 100 foot-pounds, 30 cal, 100-yard air gun all day. Hunting gun. I mean, it's not a bench rest gun, but it'll hunt at 100 yards, like, no problem. That's a coyote gun, like, oh yeah. And it shoots slugs good, too. So that's I need to get back and do some more work with that. I'm excited about that. So
That's kind of what I'm looking for right now is 30 or 35 cal to hunt coyotes with, because it's pretty difficult to get them in closer than 50 yards. It's difficult to get them into 50 yards, so I need one that's going to really reach out there and get them.
Yeah. So Michigan Airgunner is saying the 45 could do 100, going back to like our AEA gun. I think 45 is a wonderful caliber. Everybody likes 50. Everybody likes 50 because it's 50 cal, right? But I think 45 is actually a better performing caliber. You can get very heavy 45 cal slugs if that's what you want, but you can also get relatively light slugs. You can get down to the 200 grain, get some really good velocity. It'll shoot a little bit flatter. You have less flight time because of higher velocity. You have good energy on impact. It makes a big, giant wound channel. There's not a huge difference between 45 and 50 in the diameter of the bullet. It's actually
more ammo choices as well.
Lots of more ammo choices, yeah, and you can cast your own easily enough. I did I bought a bunch of Lee molds when I lived in Havasu. So I think 45 is a better performing caliber than 50. I know 50 is the most popular, but I think people should look at the 45 a lot more often. And 35 is even more so. 35, like, if you can get a Gamo TC 35 long, that will do 300 plus foot-pounds and a 35. You got to run heavy slugs. But you can shoot 95 grain slugs at over 1,000 feet per second. I mean, that's getting close to like a 9mm handgun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 1250, 1300, whatever they're doing, it's pretty daggum close. So you can, if you're shooting over 1,000 feet per second, a slug, which doesn't have, well, it's not supersonic, but it's pretty impressive what you can do with a 35 cal, and then you have the similar energy on target, and it's still a good, fat, juicy wound channel, and you have zero flight time as far as from when the animal hears the shot to when the bullet impacts, because you're very close to the sound barrier anyway, so they don't have time to jump the shot. A 35 is a great caliber, so it's certainly one to consider if you're looking for something for longer range hunting. I think 35 is great.
Yeah.
So Michigan is saying, waiting on my 35 to come back from Cap Dragon. By the way, if you guys, I think they still have them available. I haven't talked to Mark in a few days. They had some inventory, guys. So if you're interested in a Cap Dragon Claw, which is a 570 foot-pounds Dragon Claw, awesome. They had a couple in stock, so jump on it so you don't have to wait the long lead time to get one. Until they get their next batch of inventory. Hopefully some things are in the work to even smooth that out. So, hopefully in the next couple months they'll have regular inventory, which would be awesome. I was going to say a bad word. Very awesome. So, Kyle, the 35 cal air bolts are not great, just as a hint. Especially when they put a broadhead on them. there's not enough fuzz in the back that's supposed to be the fletching that actually keeps them flying straight. So just as a hint, stick with the larger, like the 50 caliber bolts. The smaller calibers, you want to avoid them. Okay, let's see. 35 Black Roads Airgunning said 35 is easy to keep very quiet too. I don't know if you guys saw my video on the FX 35 cal, but that is unbelievably quiet. I don't know how they got that gun so stinking quiet, but it is really, really awesome. And if everything works out right for Angie, she may get her own FX 35. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Coyotes, watch out. Coyotes, small hogs would be the end of your life, buddy. So let's see. If you guys have any other questions, jump in. I did have a topic I wanted to talk about. And I may just kick over here. And let me see. I'm going to go back to this screen while I look for a photo.
So I have a question.
Uh-oh.
So I find myself, and it's really goofy, irrelevant question, but here goes.
Perfect.
So I find myself referring, what's that?
Is it just the kind of questions we like? Go for it.
I find myself referring to certain air guns as he's or she's. Does anybody else do that?
No, you're just weird.
Come on, Rick. You don't?
I don't know that I do, really.
Oh, you should pay attention.
I'm thinking I will pay better attention to such things. Was there a point, or are you just kind of making a point to see if somebody comes up with a point?
I was seeing if somebody else does it too. So
okay,
maybe I'm not the only weirdo. Maybe I am. Whatever.
Maybe the little pretty guns are she's, and the big bad smashy guns are he's. Is that what you found?
Well, I was calling Diana a she, which is, yeah, it's Diana.
Makes sense. It's Diana.
Yeah, but then I was calling the Viper a he. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I would call the hammer a he. I would probably call my air arms a she. So maybe. So I have a gun on the screen here, and I'm gonna switch between a couple here. I've got this one.
That's the Fusion, isn't it?
It is the Fusion, and that is the.
Oh.
Your friend,
the bone collector.
Now, Derek's asking, why don't you shoot with Ben anymore? Ben took over shooting gear reviews and kind of did his own thing. I had a great conversation with Ben at Squirrel Master, and the hope is that we will be doing some more stuff together in the future. So, that's that. Anyway, we have a gun here. This has a particular look. I'm going to switch back to the other one. And Angie, can you tell me the most significant difference between these two guns? There's that one and that one.
Yeah, synthetic stock and wood stock.
Hey, she got it. Yes. Okay, so here's the question. Yay!
Thanks, Rick.
Good job, Angie. Good job.
Are you still trying to figure it out?
No, I'm. Somebody was responding to the he/she thing. All right, so I've had lots of comments talk about plastic. Have you ever seen the comments that talk about, oh, that's a plastic gun, as if it's trash, it's no good, right?
Yep.
So here's my question. There's plastic, and I would say the Crosman 760 Pump Master from Walmart is plastic. I would say that the Gamo or other synthetic guns, take the Crosman, not brand aside, but the Crosman had a nice stock. It was a decent stock. It was not plastic. It was synthetic, i.e. not wood, but it wasn't trash, right? So my question is, if you have products out there like Glock, is Glock trash? Well, some people may say. I happen to like Glocks. You've got Springfield Armory. They've got synthetic grips and receivers. The slides metal. You've got Walther. I have a really nice Walther 9mm that is a synthetic. I really like that gun. So what is the aversion for many that they have this like knee-jerk reaction about a gun that has, quote, plastics on it? I mean, Angie, let me ask you: have you ever had? And our experience, my experience, your experience probably has been primarily with Gamo guns that are quote plastic. Yes. I mean, you've had
Yes.
some other synthetics, but have you ever had not a cheap Walmart Crossman Pump Master kind of plastic, but have you ever had a plastic quote unquote gun to stock break?
Nope.
Have you ever had, like Gamo uses a plastic trigger, have you ever had a Gamo plastic trigger break?
Nope.
I haven't either. And so I'm wondering, where's the aversion? Where is the disconnect with the difference between a properly made polymer synthetic and plastic, and why is it all lumped into one thing? I have guns with metal triggers. I have guns with plastic triggers. I've not had any of them fail. I haven't had ever a trigger break. I've had some really terrible triggers to have to work through, but I've never had them break. So have you ever had that experience, Angie, where maybe you've done a video and people have commented on that's plastic, it's no good, etc., etc.? Mostly I get them on the Gamo videos.
Oh yeah, that's plasticky. The plasticky. Yeah, I get it a lot. But I mean, I think it's like we were talking about triggers earlier, and you have your trigger snobs, and then you have your gun stock material snobs.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much
Derek,
it.
now Derek's making a point. I think it's a good point. Synthetic plastic guns won't ever be heirloom guns. Yeah, I mean, I probably would not cherish a synthetic Air Arms TX200 like I do my walnut stock TX200. Okay, like that stays in the gun case, right? But there are some advantages to the synthetics. I brought that bone collector home. Is your bone collector stock in pristine condition, or does it have nicks, dings, and some character marks on it?
I think it's pristine, Rick. I really care about that gun.
Mine made one trip in my truck, and it's already loaded with character marks.
Oh no, no! I put that in a bag or a case. I don't
Case.
even put it.
Mine was
telling
in a
you,
gun.
I love my bone collector.
Mine was in a gun sock. It wasn't in a case. But yeah, I mean, the wood stocks are going to tend, at least all of the ones I've got, are going to tend to mark. If heirloom guns, if they stay heirloom, they're usually not shot a lot. But synthetics, I think you are far more ready to go out and use them in bad weather conditions. They throw them in the back of your truck. I think they're far more usable that way. They really, I think, have their place, and I don't think they deserve the negative connotation that they get, personally.
Well, they're a lot lighter and easier to carry. Like the Avenger. Oh my gosh, I took that one out squirrel hunting and raccoon hunting. I got myself a raccoon with it, and running through the woods with that lightweight thing was a much easier
nicer
than running through the woods with a wood stock.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Something that's lightweight. Now, I would imagine, and I don't know what the power output is on that, the Storm Rider that you have, and I know it's 177 because really, they're both Airgun Capital and Buckrail. They're really not about high power accessories for high powered guns. They want to do accessories that are for the lower powered stuff that people can take a $100 gun, put a little money on it, customize it, make it something unique, and have a lot of fun with it in the backyard. So they're not like customizing hunting guns per se. Not that they couldn't, but it's just not what they're doing now. But goodness, can you imagine taking that squirrel hunting if it had enough power? I mean, I don't know if you weighed it, but what's the thing weigh? 3 pounds? 3.5 pounds, maybe?
That's what I would guess. 3 to 3.5
It's so
pounds.
light. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
If it was 22 cal, I'd take it squirrel hunting.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, it would have enough. You could get close enough and pop them pretty easy, I think, with that. Put a little red dot on it. Don't put a heavy optic on it. Put like maybe a lightweight red dot or something, and you'd be golden. So anyway, I think that there's a lot of value to be had in synthetics, and I think that if you're on the fence, if you're looking at products and saying, oh, it's plastic, all right, there's plastic. Like the first Avenger stock, I absolutely hated it. It had that sound. It really sounded like cheap plastic. When they came out with the Woodstock, I was all in on that gun. I love the Woodstock Avenger. Not a fan of the plastic one, personally. When they came out the bullpup, they must have changed the chemistry in their plastic because the bullpup stock is different than the original Avenger stock. It has a different feel to it, different texture, and a different, I don't know, just they changed it for the better and like loads better. But I mean, people bought a whole heck of a lot of synthetic Avengers and certainly didn't hurt the performance at the range, did it? Or out in the woods. And if you bang it around the truck, you're not banging up your wood stock either. So it does have an advantage there. So
Yeah, while I appreciate the look of a nice wood stock or any, I appreciated the Avenger. I mean, it's super light and the performance. When I'm going out into the woods, I don't always necessarily care what the gun looks like. I want it to perform well. So I love the Avenger, the
yeah,
lightweight synthetic. I know it's cheap and all that kind of stuff, but
it's cheap feeling. It's actually. The gentleman was asking if I've ever had one break. I've not had any of them break. I have not had any problems with the Avengers other than at over time you're gonna have to rebuild them because all of my Avengers right now aren't holding air. I got to rebuild every single one of them. So the O-rings wore out. I've got to go and get rebuild kits from Pyramid Air because they're all DOA at the moment. Look, they're not the only ones. I have a couple Air Arms that are DOA. I've got some BSA that are DOA. I've got. I went through all kinds of fun with the JTS when they first came out. Of course, they hopefully solved that problem. So I mean, that's not saying that to put the gun down. If you own PCP air guns, you're going to need to learn how to maintain them because the O-rings are going to wear out. It's not if, it's when. So the beauty is, at least Pyramid Air is making available rebuild kits, so you don't have to go hunt O-rings with some, I don't know, go to some store and look at the wall of O-rings and try and match them by eyesight and hand. You can actually buy a rebuild kit, so I think that's important. Yeah. G-Man was saying that traditional firearms folks and old air gunners are the folks that like the wood stocks. Look, I like the look of a wood stock. I prefer a wood stock. I just don't blanket disregard as useful a gun in a plastic stock. Right?
I will tell you one thing.
Okay.
When I was running around the woods with the Avenger, we have cypress knees out here because it's kind of there's some swampy spots and they will just pop up right in front of you and knock you down. I fell down with that gun. I mean, that gun has taken a beating and I still got a raccoon with it.
Yeah, awesome.
Sweet gun, yeah.
Guns of the West, how much use did you get before it needing that rebuild? I think probably not as much as I would have gotten if if it was my gun that I shot more often. The worst thing you can do for any of these PCPs is let them sit and don't use them. I've got probably 150 guns sitting in my unit or my workshop, and my Connex maybe more. And obviously I don't shoot them all the time. So when they sit, that's when they have problems. So I probably went 9 months to a year and then went to pick it up and shoot it, and they're all empty. And when I go to put air in them, they're blowing out. I mean, they won't even begin to hold air. So I know exactly the O-rings it's the O-rings that are part of the plenum. That whole assembly, the regulator plenum and all of that, that's where it's leaking. And I just got to pull it apart. Fortunately, it's easy enough to do. JTS is easy enough to work on. There's a lot of these guns that are easy to work on, to maintain, and you just got to do it. One of the things I want to do with Modern Airgunner is actually film that disassembly and repair and reassembly. I think those are going to be good videos for people to know. I think those will be useful. And I kind of like that kind of work. I enjoy it a little bit. I mean, some of the complicated guns, like the Galahad, I have an Air Arms Galahad that has an O-ring leak around the regulator, and I don't even know where to begin to get that gun apart. So it's probably going to go back to Pyramid Air to just get repaired because I don't want to ruin it. It's too nice of a gun, too expensive to try and... For me to tinker with it and then mess it up, I don't do that. So let's see. Our dry condition and heat is hard. Yeah, Bob's saying, yeah, it's hard. It is hot. It's hot and dry here, and it just, once it's out of air, and not holding pressure, the O-rings will just they're gone. You're gonna have to rebuild the gun. So maybe I can get Naomi as part of her job to just go and keep all my guns topped off. Maybe that would be a good job for her.
Yeah, get her to shoot them a little bit every day.
Yeah, she's got to spend an hour at the range. I think that's perfectly acceptable. She'll love it.
Yep.
No, not really. I wish she liked guns as much as I do, but she doesn't. That's all right. She likes other things, so it's okay. I won't disown her over it. So let's see. I think I answered the question from Guns of the West. Have I heard of any of them breaking? No, I haven't. They're strong enough for general use. I prefer the wood stock better. I think it's more rigid and provides more substance to the gun. I think I shot better and more accurately with the wood stock than the plastic one, personally. Let's see. I think that's about it. I think we're about done here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look if there's anything else. Yeah. I think that was it.
Were you gonna talk about the next?
Oh, the next contest. Thank you. Yes, it's actually on my list here. But the daggum, I'm going to blame the faulty camera that gave me a fit. All right, so the next contest, I was hoping to have it ready by tonight. That didn't happen. All kinds of things, reasons and why and whatnot. But we are going to have it up and going by Friday. So definitely keep an eye on the contest page on the GTA. I'll put the link in the video description. So you guys, if you watch this again or whatever, you'll be able to find it. But it's pretty simple. It's GTA, gatewaytoairguns.com/contest, and there you go. But we're going to be giving away a Winchester 45, 70-45 multi-shot, big bore, 5-shot magazine, a hand pump, and some slugs. Or they're pellets, actually, 45 cal pellets. This gun was probably one of the nicest shooting 45 Winchesters I ever shot. I'm tickled somebody's going to get a really, really nice gun out of this. It'll be a 50-yard hunting machine for somebody who it's about 200 and some change foot-pound. So it's not a powerhouse, but I've taken pigs with it. With actually a lesser powered gun. I took a nice pig. She was tasty. But yeah, I think somebody's going to get a really nice airgun package. So be sure to keep an eye on that, and it's going to run for a month. So we'll talk about it again next week, and I'll show you the product page or the contest page. You guys can take a look at it. So.
You know what's really cool about that gun, Rick?
Sure.
Is there's not too many big bore air guns that you can use a hand pump on. Yeah. Not that I want to, but there's not many that you can. But that one, what does that one feel to?
It's 250 bar if you want to take it. It actually is optimal right around 200, 210. So if you want the most number of shots, take it to 250. You'll get 2 mags. You'll get 10 shots out of it. If you want to shoot in the sweet spot, fill it to about 205. 3,000 psi, and you'll get 5 really good shots. So, yeah. Anyway, well, it looks like we got quite a bunch of people talking about stocks and poly and everything else. So that's kind of cool. Somebody was asking, Beanflip was asking about break-in for air guns. Really depends on the air gun. Some guns need it, some guns don't. I think, and I don't know this for certainty, I'm going by what I've been told by people that shoot more than me, is that when you first get a gun, depending on what pellet you're going to run, the barrel may need a little time to season to that pellet, the pellet you're going to use mostly. And if you clean it, you may actually have to re-season the barrel, like if you use a bronze brush or something. If you don't just pull a patch through or something, if you actually get more aggressive and really clean it, you may have to go through that seasoning process. That's what I've been told. I don't know. I don't know how true that is. I think I've witnessed a little bit of that, but it's not like I've got some documentation to share. The older brake barrels is really where break-in used to be important, because the spring, you had all these brand new parts that were not meshed together, and you have these big, heavy moving parts that need to work right. Like that, the piston seal, the spring, all of those things needed to come together and work properly. And that took time. It probably took 200-300 rounds before the gun would settle down and actually perform like you want. Or you could do like I did, and I just take them all apart, cross hatch, and process the chamber, the piston, put a new piston seal on it, treat the spring, use my 200 tube grease, put it back together, and then from day one it was a cream puff. But that if you don't have a spring compressor to do all that, the lathe and all the other fun stuff, and yeah, shoot it 300-400 times, it'll be doing the same thing. So okay, that's about it. Easy fill for portable compressor, yes. For the Hatsan 45, absolutely. Oh, and by the way, Timmy, he's not here tonight. I finally found a gun for Tim, so he's super pumped. So I will look to get that out the door. I've got a particular gun I think is going to be a blessing for him. The guy's had a rough time. He bought a gun from Cattleman's, and then they had their financial issues or went belly up on the airgun side or whatever happened, and there's a lot of people that just got stuck. And Tim and I have been chatting, and every now and then you just want to help somebody out. So we got something that I think is going to work good for him. I'll tell you later what I'm sending him, but it'll be a good blessing for him. But I think he'll enjoy it. And YouTube is telling me now's a good time to insert ads, which we're not going to do. We're going to insert that's the end of the show. We're done. So I hope everybody has had a good time tonight. Hope the topics were useful, and we'll see y'all next week. I will be out of town end of the month, so we'll skip that week. And I've got some other trips planned through the course of the summer. I'll be in and out, but we will be here as much as possible to get up here and let's talk airguns. I think it's a lot of fun. So
sweet. Thanks, Rick.
Okay, I got one question. Maybe we can answer it. Yeah, Michigan Airgunner, I think, took the words right out of my mouth, although I haven't shot the jet yet. The Notos, I actually have one that came into my shipping receiving area today. I will be shooting the Notos very soon. I had to buy one because everybody was out of stock. Umarex was going to send me one, but they didn't have an inventory. I was going to get one for Pyramid Air, Airgun Depot, out of inventory. So I found one on Amazon and bought it, and it came in today. I'll pick it up tomorrow. I am excited. The gun that we had so much fun with at Airgun Expo was the Notos. I think it was everybody's sort of surprise favorite. Would you say that's yeah, just a really cool gun? So excited about that. Let's see.
G-Man, I thought you loved Timmy.
Yeah,
he doesn't like Gamo.
Yes, I thought a Gamo Coyote would be perfect, but I thought not. I changed my mind. So. Can you put AR-15 sights on the Notos? I don't know. I'll find out. I've got some spare sights. I did get grips and the sight kit from Pyramid Air, so I'll be able to shoot it as a pistol at some point and also as the out of the box. So we'll be doing a little bit of both. So cool. So anyway, that's going to be it, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and thank you for hanging out with us. Curious, can you hold the Notos as a pistol? Yes, if you buy the sights and the pistol grips, then it becomes essentially a pistol. It's about the same size as a Benjamin Marauder pistol. So if you have that, understand that concept, it's just regulated and more powerful and really, really awesome. So that's going to be it. I got to go, guys. You guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Angie, thank you as always. You have any final words you want to say?
Nope. Thank you, Rick, and thank you all for joining us. Y'all have a good night.
All right, guys, we're going to go out with our song. This is, hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to wrap up with this, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, guys, again, thank you for joining us. We will be back next week. I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. Airgun Pro Shop and all the other guys. All the guys, you can check them out at AirgunWeb.com. There's a whole slew of them. You can also see all the videos that we've done for them. Be sure to subscribe to the various pages like the Gateway to Airgun, Modern Airgunner, all of those so that you never miss a beat. You want to keep up with what Angie's got going on. She's going to be posting a lot of stuff come April. We have some cool things in the mix, so be ready for that, and we are excited about what's coming down the pipe. So you guys have a great week. See ya.